Here is a story about the Kemetic principle of Maat, the principle of truth, justice, and balance one. Once upon a time, in the land of Kemet, there was a young girl named Nefertari. She lived in a small village on the banks of the Nile River with her family. Nefertari was a curious girl and loved to learn about the world around her. One day she asked her mother about the meaning of the feather that she often saw depicted in the village temple. Her mother explained that it was the feather of Maat, the goddess of truth, justice, and balance. Nefertari was fascinated by this concept and decided to learn more about it. She spent many days in the temple, listening to the priests and priestesses as they spoke about Maat and her role in maintaining order in the world. Nefertari learned that Maat was not just a goddess, but also a principle that guided the actions of all people. To live in accordance with Maat meant to speak truthfully, act justly, and maintain balance in all things. Nefertari took these teachings to heart and began to apply them in her daily life. She always spoke honestly, even when it was difficult. She treated others with fairness and kindness, and she worked hard to maintain harmony in her relationships with others. As she grew older, Nefertari became known throughout the village for her wisdom and her commitment to Maat. One day, a great drought struck the land of Kemet. The crops withered in the fields, and the people grew hungry. The villagers were afraid and did not know what to do, but Nefertari remembered the teachings of Maat and knew that they must work together to find a solution. She gathered the villagers together, and they came up with a plan to share their resources and help each other through this difficult time. Thanks to Nefertari's leadership and her commitment to Maat, the village survived the drought. The people were grateful to her and honored her for her wisdom. And Nefertari knew that it was all thanks to Maat, the principle of truth, justice, and balance that had guided her actions. This is just one example of how the Kemetic principle of Maat can be applied in everyday life. By living in accordance with this principle, we can create a world that is more just, more balanced, and more harmonious for all. This has been a Sherry Plaza production.